Okay, after an overwhelming response for a tutorial on how we built our home gym, this is how we built our home gym. So I posted a TikTok and Instagram reel about a home workout that I did with the home gym that we have, and it went viral. Every question was, we need a tutorial. How did you build that? Let me know how to put that in my own home. So that's what this video is going to be, kind of the inspiration behind it, what we thought about when we wanted to build it, what we wanted it to look like, how we wanted it to function. So these are some tips that I would probably do maybe a little bit differently if I were to do it again, and really how we built it so you can do this again in your house. So first, this home gym is one of the first rooms in our house. So as you walk in the front door, what you're gonna see is a dining room to your left and this kind of office space to the right. So my wife is big on interior design, making things flow and look very aesthetic. So having a rough, rugged home gym in that front room is just a no-go. That's never gonna be allowed in our house. So we had to build a home gym that was very aesthetically pleasing when we weren't using it. And so you'll see now we have some kind of plants, a rug on the bottom just to give it just a closet feel. So when you walk in, you don't assume that it's a home gym. I actually have my desk set up right over here. And so as you're walking through, it's just a normal office. As we start to open up some of these doors, you're gonna see how we've converted this simple closet into our home gym. On this side here, we open this up and we have our barbells and our weights, and on this side we have our dumbbells, kettlebells, foam rollers, yoga mats, and even a chalkboard over here just to track what the workout is. And so we've tried to make it as holistic as we can. As we start to take these down, and I'll show that to you in a second, these are just stall bars, and I created an attachment that you can use this to do squats, pull-ups, things like that. So first we have our dumbbell rack and our kettlebells, and up there is where we have some of the yoga mats, blocks, and bands. The main thing is just going to be these dumbbell storage. This is just a 1x6, and that's going to hold all the weight. Underneath I have plenty of support, so you probably see that a little bit, just to support the weight of the dumbbells. These are only 10-15 pounds. We have had 30-50 pounds on this. It holds it fine. You don't see any bowing in the wood. And on the bottom, we do have some more heavier weights, which are going to be some of the 80-pound kettlebells, a couple 50-pound kettlebells, and a 35-pound kettlebell. That is the shelf for that is stacked twice just to give it a little bit more rigidity. Again, we'll go through kind of the construction a little bit. On this other side, we have our barbell storage. I kind of had this idea of I wanted it to flow vertically and kind of have it be wider at the bottom with our heavier weights and get skinnier. And then on this side, be heavier with some of the different dumbbell options. One of the main reasons you don't see heavier dumbbells is because we have this adjustable dumbbell where we can create really whatever weight we want. So yeah, we just built a barbell storage rack, and then all the weights. I think we have about 250 pounds-ish here, and these are just dowels that have been put into the back wall. Again, we'll go through the construction here in a second. So let's just show you how the stall bars work, and then we'll go into the construction in a little bit. Okay, so I have these pieces of wood. I painted them black, but it's pretty much a solid piece of oak. I saw on, I don't know if it was Pinterest or just Google images of DIY home gyms, where someone used these stall bars. So I came up with this idea to have just a piece of oak just sit right on the stall bars there. And this isn't going anywhere because this whole piece here, which is essentially about 3 inches of wood, is all braced to that back wall. And then these stall bars are drilled into those bracings. So this is holding on this side. I'll put the stall bar in, or these racks on this side, and that's where I then can pull the barbell that sits nicely right on the stall bar. So as we back up, you'll see how all of this kind of looks together. And then in literally the TikTok video that I had that went viral, you'll see how I was able to add 150, 200 pounds on this, and it is solid. Nothing's going anywhere. So this is a very easy way to create a rack for the house. In that video, it also showed how I was doing, really it was a ab exercise, kind of like a leg raise. And I guess to back up a little bit, one of the reasons why we built this is we run a health coaching company. So just to give some tutorials on how to do certain exercises was one of the reasons why we built this. And then as we've found this to be pretty popular, this is just going to be just another avenue for us in showing people how to do fitness at the house. So for a pull-up, we just actually attach these at a higher elevation. So these stall bars I think are at every 6 or 8 inches. I probably should have measured that before. But I just put this right into here. And this is probably going to look really awkward because I'm trying to do it with a camera in one hand. I'll just edit this part out anyway. Push this to the side. And so we have now created a pull-up bar. I mean, I'm 190 pounds and it does not move. I can do a lot of pull-ups. So I'm able to do this with absolutely no problem. It does not bow. Again, a lot of this is due to the width of the bars to hold enough strength. So I wouldn't be using like 1/2-inch dowels or anything like that to hold my weight. So just make sure you get one that's thick enough. I know you could potentially even use the barbell, put it through there because those holes are big enough. We thought this just looked aesthetically pleasing, a little bit better. All right, that's the general function of everything. We do have a 2-year-old who likes to get in here, so we did put little locks on this so he can't get in, but for the most part, it's pretty solid. And as you saw before, it looks like just a closet that you would find in any normal room. All right, let's go through the construction. In the construction, I'll go from the back moving forward. And behind this wall, these are just simple pieces of plywood, as thin as they come, so probably more like a Luan. But I put some 2x8s, and that'll be in the picture probably around here. 2x8s horizontals at the top, bottom, and 2 mid pieces. And I used anchor screws to go through those 2x8s into the support studs, because this is going to be a load-bearing wall behind this. And that's the other thing I wanted to make sure was a solid load-bearing wall behind this. So I put the 2x8s horizontal to go into those really king studs behind. And after those horizontals, I ended up putting after those horizontals, I created then the frame. So as we zoom out, you'll see, all right, as we zoom out, you'll see it creates a box. So I boxed in the entire home gym with the 1x12 to create really a frame, and then built out each vertical around that. So each side here is either a 1x10 or 1x12 just to keep it consistent. I doubled up each end, and then on this middle part, I actually put in 3 1xs. Actually, that's probably not even a 1x, maybe more of a 3/4 inch piece of wood, to create the structure. And all of these vertical structures are anchored into the 2x8 to create the rigidity to make sure that this doesn't go anywhere. These two pieces of wood here, if you'll see, these are actually 3 individual pieces of wood. The 2 pieces here have the hole drilled out where the dowels go through to make sure it doesn't go through on the other side. That's why it's only 2. And you can probably even see right in there, that's where the anchor from this piece of wood goes to those 2x8s. So all of that is anchored in. And then to create the structure, or to hold a lot of the weights here, I ended up putting 2x4s in every location where I knew I was going to put a dowel. So we have some 35-pound plates, 4 25-pound plates. So there is a piece of a 2x4 that's behind every single one of these to make sure it's rigid enough to make sure this dowel isn't going to go anywhere, because I don't want this to break off because of all the weight that's protruding forth. So we have the dowels in here. There's 2x4s behind it to create a little bit more structure here. Same thing over here. I knew exactly where I wanted to put all the shelving units. So behind every shelf is a 2x4, and again with the dowels up here. So I put dowels into every piece here. These are removable as well, so I can take this out, rearrange some of these dowels to create a different structure, or put the shelf at different places. That was, again, just probably another Pinterest idea that I just stole from somebody else. So yeah, but behind every dowel is going to be some type of 2x4 to create more depth for the dowel to go through. That's the basic construction of it. Yeah, there's not much else. The paint we got from Sherwin-Williams. It's just, I think, American oak on some of those dowels, but I guess the paint doesn't really matter. I guess it matters to some of those people who really like the aesthetics, but I just want it to function. I have my wife do all the aesthetic stuff. Yeah, so if you have any questions, that's the basic build of it. It closes up really nicely. So if you have any questions, just let us know.